and welcome. This is our weekly review program, and we are going to bring to you major happenings that took place in the week. And I'm Gomechisa Mendida hosting you, and I'm joined by Lilin Temesgen. Today we have got two major agendas. The first one is the budget that has been approved by Addis Ababa City Council for 2017 Ethiopian fiscal year. And the second one is, of course, the Gogora Eco Resort, and we're going to bring you the major events around this. We also have, other issues. Welcome again to our program and stay with us. Lilin, let me ask you how you've had your week.
It is a very interesting week, as usual, and full of different events. Addis Ababa is known for its taking care of different events, international and local events. So we have today come up with very few of those events happened over the week. So we'll be discussing primarily the Addis Ababa City Council's deliberation and also the Gorgora's Eco Resort inauguration. Yes. That happened in presence of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and other government officials. You have also Deputy Prime Minister's speech made on the Green Legacy Initiative, right?
Deputy Prime Minister Temesgen Trune, along with Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, planted seedlings at the Chaka project. They told every one of us to follow them. And the next thing to do is to plant, 7.5 billion seedlings across the country, so that the country has already envisaged planting, 40 billion seedlings by the end of this Ethiopian fiscal year. Yeah. And during this rainy season, that's what they want to do.
Yeah, of course, the country is just spearheading in fighting, climate change impacts around the globe. Yes. And sharing its responsibilities in this regard. So it's a very outstanding phenomena happening in the country since the reform. The other topic that happened over the week is Irish Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister, who is also Defence Minister of Ireland, Michael Martin. He's in Addis Ababa for his official visit along with his delegation. And, Ireland reaffirmed commitment to supporting Ethiopia's peace-building initiative that is taking place in the country. Yes. He reaffirmed, Michael Martin reaffirmed Ireland's commitment to supporting Ethiopia's peace-building initiatives and dialogue process. And he met with Chief Commissioner of the National Dialogue Commission, Professor Mesfin Araya. They both held discussions, and the discussion focused on the ongoing national dialogue process in Ethiopia and the potential lessons Ethiopia could learn from Ireland. And he also briefed Martin on the current progress of the dialogue. And Martin, on his part, shared Ireland's experience in the peace-building process, highlighting the crucial role of political willingness and importance of embracing diversity. He's also the involvement of women in the bringing about peace in the country. So he also the delegation of Ireland met also Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and President of Sahle-Work Zewde, and they deliberated on the bilateral and multilateral issues of mutual interest.
Shall we begin with the Addis Ababa City's Council approval?
Sure.
Approval of this more than 230 billion Ethiopian birr has been approved for the next Ethiopian fiscal year.
A big deal of money.
It's a big deal of money, of course. As we can see, there is an additional 68 billion birr to the one, just that we had in the last fiscal year, which was 162 billion. What's important here is that around 146.8 billion has been approved for capital projects. And again, 74.5 billion for this, regular expenditure. So when we say regular expenditures, anything that has to do with administration etc. And of course, 9.4 billion has been set aside as a reserve in case whatever happens. You can use that money to compensate.
By shortening the market chain in the centers, the market price over the supply of crops, vegetables and fruits has been reduced by 15 to 20%. A contribution is being made to stabilizing the market by expanding the Saturday and Sunday marketplace to 193, where the producers and the consumers can make direct transactions. In order to reduce the cost of living, a business organization that can provide enough products at reasonable prices to solve the problem of product supply and demand has been established and started working.
Yeah, on top of that, now over 90% of the total budget has been allocated on poverty reduction and on people-oriented sustainable development projects that is taking place in the city. So it shows that the city's priorities lie in addressing the needs of residents.
Exactly.
And invest in initiatives that can drive long-term sustainable progress, which is being witnessed by all the people around the world and also outsiders as well.
I just would like to mention, what the mayor said when members of the council asked her, how possibly can we get, this money, this additional money? What is the basis to allocate, such a big budget? And she gave, responses, critical responses, of course. The first thing she mentioned was that the potential of the city to generate revenue and, of course, the amount of money that comes from, taxation has, gap. Which means, the city administration is not collecting proper amount of, tax. And for this, the city administration, will take measures. And she said they will expand, just their tax base. Okay? And the other thing she mentioned was tax evasion. Tax evasion is, just one challenge to the city administration. There are institutions, companies, just that are run in the city, that function in the city, that make business in the city, but still they don't pay, enough taxes. And these must be made, responsible.
Yes.
Because a lot of tax is evaded by these companies and institutions.
She's right, actually. Yeah. Awareness has not been done in our country about tax collection. The people are not well trained to pay taxes to the government because this is the tax that is collected from the citizens. Yes. Is used for for the development of the country.
The mayor is saying that taxes should be generated from different sources, and by doing this, obligations, responsibilities will be successfully implemented or met. Okay. She mentioned for example, the visible success in the corridor development that of course comes from the tax that is being collected. Without adequate or proper taxation, this cannot be possible. And the other thing she said was that of course they will employ technology in order to ensure that proper amount of tax is collected. Technology will be employed. And of course when it comes to the office of the Federal Auditor General, the workers, the employees there, the staffs there need to be given, skills development courses, trainings, okay, resources that will allow them, do this tax collection, properly. So by doing this, she said that Addis Ababa will ensure that it will reach its goals. It will meet its goals. And the other thing that she mentioned was that, in the previous fiscal year, 146.8 billion has been collected and invested on, 18,000 projects. And of course, this corridor development project. And all this is to say that people should come together, and institutions should come together and do their share in contributing, just to the country by paying, taxes properly. And this will be invested on enhancing development, mitigating poverty or alleviating poverty, and the likes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, she also underscored the importance of tourism. Tapping tourism potential in the city. Formerly, agriculture is the backbone of Ethiopia's economy. Now, since the new reform, the government has initiated to diversify the country's economic resources, by through on working on tourism, on infrastructure, in manufacturing and the like. So during the assembly, Mayor Addis Ababa presented a report detailing the performance of Addis Ababa city in attracting foreign tourism investment. According to the mayor's report, Addis Ababa had set a target of 59.73 billion from foreign tourists last year. And to the council's delight, the city was able to exceed the targeted plan, securing over 59 billion in investments from international visitors. Because as a testament, so many tourist attraction sites are being developed in the capital, small and big ones. Tourist potentials, are attracting, foreign tourists more than ever before to come and invest their money in the city. So the report also revealed that Addis Ababa welcomed a significant influx of tourists in the 2016 fiscal year. The city hosted 928,000 foreign visitors as well. So looking ahead, the council stated that they will be undertaking wider promotional campaigns to raise dynamic tourist attraction sites being developed in the country so that tourists will flow more than ever before. How about the corridor development?
Okay, just please
tell
us more.
Yesterday I took a walk, to Piazza, and I thought that I was in those Western cities. I didn't believe that this is Addis Ababa that I know before. All the garbage is removed, all the wrecked houses removed, and beautiful, eye-catching activities are being, installed in places. The roads are widened, and the Sabadareja that we know is totally transformed and beautified with lights. So this is, a remarkable achievement registered by the city administration to, transform the city, to give a new look to the city, and to make the city competitive, like that of other international big cities. So it's almost done, the project almost finalized, and it gives you kind of inspiration, motivation to look for other activities to to make the city greater even in the future. So with regard to this one, she just said that the project created as many job opportunities as possible for young people, the youth in the city, and people have been delighted by the outcome of the project. So that this kind of project gives impetus to the government to do more.
Not only that, of course, everything that you have said is absolutely true. But for me, what's important is the implication of the corridor development, which is, it has changed the work habit of people. We have seen that, people have been working in shifts, day and night, 24/7, and that was attended by high government officials, such as the mayor herself. And the other thing is, again, this replicates, in the rest of Ethiopia, in other similar projects. First, we remember the Arat Kilo corridor development, and then the Sabit corridor development, and others are following. All these have been completed within a short period of time, opposed to what has been the case earlier. Corridor development is, completing the work, the projects, so fast. And it seems, everything is happening in a blink of an eye. The next day, you just find yourself in a different situation. What you see is quite unprecedented, isn't it?
Yes.
And that is not only beautiful, it is extraordinarily, amazing. And people get, truly surprised by what they see in the corridor development.
Yeah, this kind of development project should have been done long time ago,
Of course.
during the previous governments. We are just witnessing a very dynamic transformation happening in the city and across the country, and this is being witnessed by foreigners as well.
Yes.
So Addis Ababa is the political city, so it should be developed, it should be transformed, because many international events are taking place here. There were no best facilities in the city, and the city was not attractive to those delegates coming for the meeting. So now it's been changed. There is green development happening in the city. There is toilets installed at some distance interval in the city. It is best for the residents, best for international communities residing in the country. So it's a blessing happening.
One thing that we need to focus on is really how we sustain such a project. People have been handling, the project development, some people, maybe a few people, wrongly. For instance, the trees that have been planted along the corridor development roads, okay? The trees were damaged. And in terms of hygiene, some people are too careless, to drop, tissue paper. And in the case of, toilets that have been installed along the roads, the main road, the hygiene and properties, in these toilets must be protected by people. But people mishandle them. People almost ruin them, destroy them. And they will incur, expenses, huge expenses again. So this needs to be, considered by people,
Yes.
by all of us.
In connection with the cost of living in the city, the city mayor said that many shopping centers where vegetables, crops, poultry products, meat products are sold in a very reasonable price. The other thing is Saturday and Sunday markets have been expanded in the city, where people with low life standard can go and buy any kind of commodities at reasonable price. So this is a means of stabilizing inflation in the city, so that the residents will be satisfied with the outcome and live at ease with the cost of living in the city.
Let's go to Gogora Eco Resort. Gogora is, it's situated in Gondar near Lake Dana, of course. It's adjacent to Lake Dana, and naturally it is an amazing place. So this is a beautiful place. Unfortunately, that has been forgotten for many years. And people there, residents of Gogora town, they say that the current government has noted their situation. The government, of course, has clearly realized, identified, the potential of Gogora for tourism, for the tourism sector. And since, many of our natural sites have not been tapped yet in terms of tourism, the government is, taking measures to make usable for tourism or for tourists. And it attracts, not only international tourists, but local tourists, people like you and I. And it has transformed, the condition of the town. Okay, the town didn't have, adequate infrastructure, but now roads in that particular site have been, built. It has become, a luxury destination.
Yes.
And of course, it is a peninsula. Find, plants and animals there. Very beautiful to see, to watch. But what the government has done is, of course, it has transformed it into a place where everything is, entertained.
Yes,
So people can go and see, people can stay there, and this is going to enhance, the tourist industry or the revenue from the industry, from the tourism industry.
You're right. The government has come up with a new scheme of tapping the tourism potential in the country.
Yes.
Through different initiatives such as Dine for Nation, Dine for Sugar, Dine for Generation, and the other initiatives that undertaken by the government of Ethiopia to diversify the economy of the country, through tourism, through infrastructure development, through manufacturing development, something like that.
Yes.
So, Foreign Affairs Minister Taye Asqassalasse was in attendance of the inauguration program of the eco resort of Gorgora. So he said, he described the Gorgora eco resort as a wonderful work of harmony between history, nature, and human wisdom, commending the idea, initiators, and those who made it possible. So he was totally mesmerized by what he saw. And Deputy Prime Minister Temesgen Turene also there. And he said the Gorgora Eco Resort built in Amara State is a timeless national treasure with great potential for tourism sector. And Tourism Minister Ambassador Nasise Chali on her part said that tourism development projects being implemented across the country have been able to showcase the country's hidden attractions. Never been done before, such a thing. But we're just seeing a new activities in tourism sector, so that the country will be benefiting from the sector in general.
በዚህ ፕሮጀክት ታሪክና ትውልድ መስካሪ ይሆናሉ።
Through this project, history and generation will testify our works as Gorgora shows our goal and dream to the generation. Our dream for prosperity and changing the livelihood of our people would not be realized only through Gorgora project. Our aim is to bring the recently brought 2 ships which are found in Djibouti and give transportation. This will create jobs for the youth and provide comfortable services for the tourists.
የገበታ ፕሮጀክቶች በሙሉ የሀገራችንን ቱሪዝም
The Dine for Nation projects are crucial to enhance the tourist flow of the country. The projects which are built in different places through this initiative show the big dream of the country. They also bring the facilities which we had no previously regarding infrastructure. They can improve the competitiveness of the country in the tourism sector. The Gorgora project is the most sophisticated compared to the rest, and it has many facilities.
It has positive impact to anything that has to do with it. For example, the Gorgora resort, eco resort, when you protect it, when there is enough jungle, when there is preservation of fauna, plants and animals in that territory, then you allow recovery of plants and animals that could have been extinct. Okay?
All the more it brings forward job opportunities for people, or people living in the surrounding areas. And the Prime Minister went to Arba Minch recently and also launched another new Arba Minch resort in there. So it's a dynamic transformation in tourism sector.
Yes. Okay, Alilin, we've raised a lot of issues today, and thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
For giving us a wonderful reflection on the issues mentioned.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Viewers, we just brought you different issues that happened in the week, and we hope that you've got good lessons from our program, which ends right here. Next time we'll come up with other issues, and until then, goodbye.